So I wish fireworks would go off at this point. This is the punchline. We had a 300% increase in throughput, getting 3 times the work done, the same people. On-time delivery had gone from 50%, now was at 100%. Labor was reduced by 75%, a 75% cost reduction in labor, and a 300% increase in work out the door. How did that happen? Well, we cut out the overtime and the extra half a shift that we're trying to catch up all the time. And those premium hours that had a huge impact. So now our cost performance went from 0.33 to a target of 1, and then went beyond that to a 1.33. And a total cycle time decrease for each project of about 20%. So now a project planned for 16 weeks could get done in 14 weeks or sometimes 12 weeks, and that was happening routinely. So it opened up a huge amount of extra capacity. As a result, Dave and his team were outperforming foremen and work teams that were inside in air-conditioned areas, protected from the elements, and had more experience. Here's Dave, 25-year-old skateboard rider, outperforming consistently the 30 and 40 and 50-year veterans with their elite teams inside a protected facility. So I can't say that that was altogether popular with everybody, but it sure was popular with the customer, who was dependent on us finishing this project on time. Here's kind of how things looked. This all took place in around the 2003-2004 time frame. We went back and fixed the flow lines in a very short period of time. It took us about 6 weeks, and went from poor performance to excellent performance. The panel lines, similarly, we fixed those before we fixed actually the manufacturing lines, and took about 6 weeks. And then finally, the major assembly projects undertook that in about 2005, and went from poor performance to excellent performance in a period of about 3 months. But we started to see benefit after 6 weeks, almost on the first job actually, started to see benefit. And then after 3 months, had this area really humming along nicely. Somewhere during this process, the finance division was asked to come audit what we had done. We were still in the middle of implementation of some of it. And the finance division was not typically generous with praise, but they looked at what we had done and concluded that we had made a $120 million added impact to the bottom line as a result of what we had done with theory of constraints when applied to the flow lines and applied to project management. That didn't mean that the customer paid us $120 million more. What it meant is that we kept from burning through $120 million that we would have spent on overtime and extra shifts and got the work done on time as required by the customer, on time, on budget, and on schedule. And that's a significant amount of money when the total profit on one of these aircraft carriers back then was somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 million. So to bring back an additional 120 million was pretty substantial.